30th. Today is the 30th, right? Morning. Got a good crowd today. Thank you all for being with us. Glad to have you here for January 30th CONFAB. Got a long agenda today, so I'm hoping the folks after me will talk quick. But there's a lot of people and a lot of important things, so want to make sure we have time for questions. I just want to say thank you to, starting with our staff for everything in the past few days. I think we're on day 6 now. Thank you. Won't point out one department or the other, but there have been a lot of people working very hard, long hours. I think some of our folks may have few worked 20 hours at a time in different departments, people sleeping here, people just doing a lot of different things to try to make sure we keep up our continuity of operations here and what we try to do every day. And I'm very thankful for all those folks. Just a lot of people, I look around, you're seeing dark eyes and some people's hair's a little different, mine included, just how everybody looks. But hopefully the weather tomorrow will cooperate, looking better every day, I think, from what it did 2 or 3 days ago, and hopefully it's a smaller amount of snow. To residents, thank you for just being patient, whether we've moved your Bible study or programs in the Commons. I know dining has been different. We still don't know as of right now what dining looks like today. The cafe will be open normal starting at lunch. We're trying to see if folks that were sick or we could not retrieve are able to get in for the Dogwood Dining and James River Grill this evening. So be on the lookout for your emails or things posted up around the cafe and website as to what we will have open today. So we're going to try best we can to do that, and I appreciate your patience. I know you want to see more open, and we want to see more open. We also have to get our folks in. At one point, I think we had 6 different people driving, trying to get folks here. Had 46 people maybe at one point sleeping here at different times, and just trying to get folks in and out. And then as we had drivers driving people, then you started having appointments again as life returned to normal, and you had people going to doctor's appointments and stuff, so trying to balance all that. Also appreciate residents offering their homes. When we looked at forecast and started seeing wind, ice, and everything else, just started thinking, how do we move folks from outside in if we need to? And there were a number of you who were willing to open up your homes to help get them in. Or Paul Shelton's not here this week. We were going to put someone on his couch, and which we did before, and that was fun for Paul to walk in and find that without being told. But all that to say, and I know there's places we understand that we need to get the sidewalks done. The city, I think, has an ordinance that you're supposed to have the sidewalks scraped within 24 hours, and we are not in code with that, and I apologize. If you've seen what the sidewalks look like, you need an icebreaker. It's just something that we're not able to get to right now, and there's some other areas, so we apologize for that. Can always walk inside. And there are places outside, so and we have a wellness center with a treadmill, but we apologize for those areas that are not finished. There's been a lot of hard work by a lot of folks to try to get as much as we had, and I've been here 15 years. I've not seen weather like this with the storm as well as just the temperatures. It's interesting of how cold it's been and continues to be. So, but thank you. I'm going to shut up on that now. Move on. Rebroadcast schedule. You can see on the screen here, channel 971 on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday on the website if you want to watch this again or you're not here and would like to watch it. Moving on, have a call-in number. It's 6304, and today's theme is New Year's resolutions. Going on to catch me at my best. 2 very deserving folks, and a lot of deserving folks, but this is obviously for the past 30 days. We could give it to 200 people next month. First, we have Lisa Mays in Dining Services. Lisa went out of her way to do something kind for my husband who lives in the Drinkard Healthcare Building. When she heard he wanted something different for lunch, she prepared his favorite grilled cheese and tomato sandwich, sent it to him. He appreciated it so much, as did I. Thanks for employees who are such caring people. Lisa Mays. Appreciate it. Next we have James Brown, Environmental Services. When making arrangements for the employee Christmas party, there was miscommunication about the furniture on the bridge. I received a call that morning that James was waiting for someone to tell him how to set up. I ran down to see James, and he could not have been any nicer, more accommodating. He really grasped every detail and immediately started to work. The setup was perfect. James, thank you. All right, we'll now turn it over. You can see on the screen some honorable mentions. We appreciate submissions for Catch Me at My Best. There were some other folks listed up here, and appreciate all their work. Devin, Rochelle, Bernice, Tammy, Gwen, David, Mike, April, and Lorena. Congratulations and thank you.
Good morning. I'm Herb Cox. I'm representing the Residents' Council. This morning I'd like to introduce the members of your 2026 Residents' Council. And if you would please stand as I recognize you. Bill Hobbs, Chair. Thank you. Chris Pickle, Secretary. Caroline Crow, Debbie Repass, Lucy Ross, Paul Sherbin, Chip Mason, and Nancy Young. A couple of things. We had our first meeting January the 7th. For those of you who are interested in reading minutes, the minutes are online. They are preliminary minutes. When I say they're online, they're on the resident website. A printed copy will be placed in the Strickler Library after they've been approved, which will be at our February 4th meeting. The next slide is our resident council committees, the Residents Association committees. This is activities and entertainment. Tom Mignona. Tom, are you here? I think everybody knows Tom. He does a wonderful job. Buildings and Grounds, Dick Byrne, chair of that committee. Dining Services, I happen to be chair of that as well, and Mary Ruth Meisner is the vice chair of that committee. If any of these people are here, please stand. The Employee Christmas Fund, Shannon Light, and two new co-chairs of that, Carol and Harold Secord, and you'll be hearing more from Shannon later on in the program. The library, Martha Wilson is chair. We're going to be hearing great things coming out of the library in the not too distant future. The Nature Trail, Susan Wyatt, who's been over the Wellness Committee chair, has now moved to the Nature Trail, and I'm surprised she wasn't chair of the Nature Trail a long time ago. She spends more time on it than anybody else. But congratulations to Susan. Barbara Baker, chair of our Pet Committee. Joe Pond, I know you, Joe, you're here. He's the chair of the Resident Health Support. Thank you, Joe. Spiritual Life, Laurie Huffman. Thank you, Laurie. Hoffman. My apologies. Trash and Treasure, Pat Douglas, and Stevie Doval. Stevie is co-chair, and Stevie is new as co-chair of that committee this year. Welcoming Committee, Jerry Webster. And Wellness, Kathy Chase is taking that position as chair, and that's new to her this year as well. Resident Council is comprised of 9 members who meet monthly on the first Wednesday of the month. And as I said, our next meeting is next week, Wednesday, February the 4th. Resident Council provides a forum for making recommendations to administration and for reacting to proposals from administration. And in order to do that, we have instituted a listening session, which is the first 15 minutes of the meeting, where any and all residents are invited. We do meet in the Hume Room, so I don't know if we could accommodate if everybody came in there, but we would welcome your interaction with us. We're going to be talking about several things during that session. We are working on our priorities for 2026. We had, in that first meeting, we had a very wonderful discussion led by Nancy Young, and we've come up with 3 major priorities. Our first one is communications, and that's one reason I'm here today. I want to open up the communications between resident council and the residents to know how you can communicate with us, and we will be doing more communication with you through the weekly updates, through the resident updates, and we are certainly hopeful that you will come to the listening session prior to, if you have some comments you would like to make to that, to us. And to encourage you to come, you get to speak directly with Lisa Martin, who is Director of Resident Life and Wellness, Lori Sweeney, who's Vice President of Health Services or Health Support, Health Services, and of course Sean, CEO, President and CEO, as well as all the members of the council. In addition, for those of you who are not able to come to that, but you still have a comment or suggestion you would like to make, you can always make it in writing. We ask you that you sign it, because that, if you think enough to make it, you need to let us know who you are so we can ask you questions regarding it later on, and which is an advantage if you come to the listening session. For clarity, we can ask you a question at that time. I also want to throw in one last thing, and that is that the Dining Services Committee also has a listening session. And maybe to encourage some of you to maybe come and make a comment at our next meeting, which is the 3rd Wednesday in February 18th, I believe it is. But there'll be a notice going out on that. We're going to be talking about what improvements can we make to trivia night. And what I'm referring to is not how the game of trivia is done and that sort of thing, but the sign-up process. So if you have any suggestions on that, we'd love to have you come to that listening session as well. Thank you.
Good morning. Let's see. I think that's on. This won't be near as much fun as when Sandy and her merry band of elves sings for us in the fall with Christmas music, but this is a pitch from the Employee Christmas Fund Committee. I think Sean has listed so many of the things that staff and employees have done for us in the last week plus, and we know that they will continue. And so it just seemed like a great opportunity to ask you to, in addition to thanking our staff as we go along through this, remember the Employee Christmas Fund. If you have not already signed up to have accounting add some amount on a monthly basis to your regular invoice, please contact accounting, fill out a form. They have the forms right outside of the accounting room door. It will be taken care of. It will be, as we know, it will be confidential in every way. Only you can figure out how much suits for you to give to the Employee Christmas Fund. But it just seemed to us that this is a good time of the year to be thinking about this, so that if you're going to make a contribution to the fund, that you get it started so it's not so much at the end of the year. And let's see, what else can I add to that? Oh, I know, very important. Not only does the Employee Christmas Fund thank you for the gifts that you give to the employees, that's very important, and it is important all year. So pitch in, please. And thank you for what you have done last year and what you will do this year.
using my playground voice. That maybe we could give them some cookies or some wine or something because they're away from home. They're our guests here, but we're not supposed to. But if we did, I know that the staff, and the administration takes care of them and makes sure they have extras with meals and all, but that's asking the staff to prepare their gifts. And so I just wondered if we might make an exception for these people that have to stay overnight. And that's a question, I guess, not for you, but for administration or whatever.
Please don't give wine. So anybody who stayed Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday received free meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner. We had a group go around giving some extra goodies out. Both Mary Ann and Christine from Human Resources Development, also even our nurses were going around, passing around different places, food. So I gained 7 pounds this week. And I thank you, but let's keep just going along with what we have with the Christmas fund, and we'll worry on that. But thank you. That's a very generous thought.
So I obviously picked the right confab to come to. I heard free wine for employees. So Sean's gone, so I'm going to take that as a yes. Oh, he's back. Daggone it. So I'm Mike Kloss. I work in the IT department. Some of you probably don't know me. My work is more behind the scenes, hidden. You probably know David, my new employee, Corbin. Those are the guys that are forward-facing. So some of the things that that my department does for residents, a lot of it you don't see, but some of the things that you do see that would be needed in your apartment. So minor PC diagnostics. So that would be a quick 15-minute. We can tell you, reboot it, or additional support would be needed. And that's as staff is available. So my department stays pretty busy. We're small. So we run the entire campus. So that would be, just because you call and you need it right now, we can't necessarily get up there right now. We try our best between the three of us, but usually we have to schedule those kinds of services. The other things that we can do is help with minor TV stuff. If it's a Comcast issue, which is 90% of the time it's going to be a Comcast issue. If it's not, we can help with that, help you reboot the box, reprogram remotes and things like that. Answering machine, if anybody still has those things. Not too many of them here anymore. And we could throw in there DVD players, VCRs, radios, basically electronic devices that you have. We're happy to help out with that stuff as our time permits, and we do schedule those. If it's more in-depth, we would ask that you go with the peer support, the Gadget Geeks. They're really good with that. If it's stuff that they can't do, they'll usually kick it back to my department. We'll schedule it, or we'll ask that you take it to an outside service because it's just too in-depth for what we have available here. Our support line is on the screen, 3494. That's David's line. He rarely is at his desk, so if nobody picks up, leave a message. We do get those. And Comcast, the dreaded number for them. You should have that one memorized by now. That's a new number. We have a pretty good chance reaching Comcast at that number, or you can use the one that's on your bill. It's a 50-50 chance either way, depending on who answers the phone at the other end. One of the other things I want to show is something new coming our way. So this is just a demo for today's purposes. We have, it timed me out. Of course it did. We have a new app that's coming. So many of you are aware of the resident website. This is hopefully going to replace that as a one place where you can get all the information that you need, easily within reach. You can get to this through your phone, computer, tablet, mobile device. More information will come out. I just wanted to give you an idea of what this looks like. I'll click on a couple of icons on here just to kind of show you what to expect. We're looking for volunteers that want to test this product out. If that's something that you're interested in, you can see Gwen in the Resident Life office. These volunteers need to be semi-tech savvy and willing to provide constructive feedback, not destructive feedback. We're looking to, the product is pretty much ready for wide release. So we're looking for people that can kind of help us tweak when we're ready to do the wide release. You'll also be asked to kind of help with peer support. So I'm going to click on a couple things here just to kind of show you what it would look like. And this, what it looks like on here is pretty similar to what it would look like on your mobile device. So announcements, that's what it looks like on the TV. And you can click through those slides, forward and backwards. If you're looking for a directory, whether it's an employee directory or a resident directory, that's on here as well. The employee directory is not all-encompassing. You don't need to know the midnight cook, the midnight dishwasher. You don't need to know those, but your key staff in the departments are listed on the staff directory. And you can contact them through the app. And what it will do, it will send an email to that employee. Just put in there what it is that you need to know, and they'll get an email, and they can either reply back on email or give you a call. The other interesting one is the resident directory. So this is more up-to-date than what gets published because this is done as residents move throughout. So we can search by name, and Bill told me I could pick on him. And in there, you get his contact information as well as a biography. And the biographies that we currently have will go in. He did this himself, and you have the ability to update your own bio. And what's nice about that, say your hobbies change. Say your education changes, your family changes, somebody else gets married in your family or has a kid, and you want to update that. It's not the bio that goes in to the library, and once it's done, it's done. You're constantly evolving and changing, and your bio can change as well. And if you want to find people with interest, this is a good way to do it. So this is coming very soon. We'll go over this in Resident Council next week and come up with a more firm timeline of when we want to do a mass release. But for now, we just ask if this is something that you're interested in providing feedback on, please see Gwen in the Resident Life office. Once we've got a good handle on how many people, if it's too many, we'll narrow it down. Don't be offended if you don't get picked. If it's only one, don't be offended if we pick on you a lot. Any questions of me? Yep, one in the back. Microphone's coming.
I was trying to get on a Zoom call recently and said I needed to update my IT or whatever, contact the IT department. Are you the person to contact?
I would say no. If you're on a Zoom call and it needs an update, you should just be able to do it from the application itself. It should just be a link that you would click.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's something that you would need our assistance on, again, that would be scheduled.
Okay.
So if you're on a Zoom call and it's saying you need to update now,
Too late, but
yeah,
I'm
my
just
guys
saying-
aren't going to be able to get up there that quick.
Okay, so just call David and set up.
Anybody else? I do want to say that in my almost 28 years of being here, I've never seen a confab this full. So I don't know if you're here because of me, because I never get up here, or if you're just bored. But either way, I heard free wine, and I'm going to take somebody up on that, Sean. It's that communications department again. We have a problem with that. Thank you.
Good morning. Got some information to pass along from the Building Services Department. No shocker that we'll start with elevators. So work has been completed on number 1 in the Brookhaven building, and they have started on elevator number 2 in the Brookhaven building. 3 more weeks is what I'm being told. So hope to get that wrapped up and life back to normal in that building. After that, we'll be moving to the service elevator in the Riverside building. I'll be working with Keith to schedule different delivery routes. Each individual elevator has been taking about 9 to 10 weeks to complete, just a reminder of that. Other projects happening. Train is currently rebuilding chiller number 2 down in our main plant in our boiler room. This was a planned capital project, and we hope to have that wrapped up within a couple weeks. Bridge provides air conditioning for your unit. We have 2 of them. Chiller number 1 was rebuilt last year, and we're working on chiller number 2 this year. Yes, ma'am. Bridge, Commons, and Library refresh will begin in March. Painting, carpet, some lighting. Mary Ann will share more details with you on that, I'm sure. RFP has been distributed to different contractors for the main kitchen renovation. We are currently meeting with contractors on site with hopes of getting proposals submitted by February 20th. JCI was here this month. You may have heard them in Hearthside in administration doing fire alarm testing. I apologize for the noise, but it's necessary. Moving on to outside, where we spent a lot of time lately. My mother lives in Clearwater, Florida. I'm thinking now is a good time to go visit. So we had snow events 12/5, 12/8, obviously this last storm, 24 and 25, and fingers crossed that we don't get anything this weekend. But if we do, we will be here and we will deal with it. Christmas lights have been removed, and of course the crew will pick up with their regular scheduled work once the weather permits. Like Sean talked about, there's still some areas we need to get to. You could drive a semi-truck on some of this ice and not break through. It was very challenging with the cold temperatures and the amount of ice and sleet that we received. Guys have worked very hard to try to get done what you see. We understand there's still more to do. Please be careful if you're outside, obviously. A lot of slick spots. I don't think we might have got over 32 just by a little bit, a couple days this week, and then down in the low teens and single digits every night. So it's testing equipment, and we will continue to work. Hopefully Mother Nature will help us a little bit next week. I think we get a high of 40, which that's crazy that sounds good, but we'll certainly take it. And I'm short and sweet this morning. Any questions?
I would like to ask why the Christmas lights, I don't know that I need it.
Well, they do for the recording.
Okay. Why the Christmas lights are on for 7 weeks. I'm particularly concerned about that because of the expenses of electricity, and we've been asked to cut back on that. So I think that's overlong, personally.
So we've received opinions both ways. Some folks really like the lighting to stay on. I have heard that concern as well. Luckily, they do not draw a lot of electricity, and it costs a lot of money to have these installed, so we're trying to get our money's worth as well, so, to keep them lit. But that's something we will definitely keep in mind. maybe there's a compromise to be found. Anything else?
Good morning. And so, yeah, it looks like everybody wanted to come in out of the outside this morning. So I want to start with our Wellness Resident of the Month, covering January, February, and March. And Bill McIntosh is our Wellness Resident of the Month for January. In February, Ken Rush. And in March, Laurie and Tom Cassidy will be our Residents of the Month. So when you see them, be sure to congratulate them. And you will see more information on that on the information board in the Templeton Wellness Center as well, and in your newsletters. Our wellness class schedule is going to change in February a little bit. We have both the classes and specialty programs coming up in February. The class schedule will change because our Yoga Connection class will now be on Mondays and Wednesdays at 1:30, and our Stretch and Restore, which we're adding an additional one because it's been requested and become very popular, and that will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2:30 in the Wellness Studio. And so the new class schedule is in the fitness center. As you go in the door, we have a rack of information with schedules and everything. It is in that. And you can pick that up in the Wellness Fitness Center. And then our Tai Chi with Jessie Teasley is always the first Tuesday of each month. And volleyball is the first and third Tuesday of each month. You're always invited to come to all of these and have a lot of fun at these as well. So our 6-week specialty classes that I've mentioned in programs is with Marco, and it's Burn It Off pool class on Thursdays, and the 3P program will be the 3P core program in the Wellness Studio on Fridays, and both of these will start in February, and they are 6-week programs. So be sure and come to those. We will also have another craft of dotting with Sarah Myers in the last Friday of February as well. So our Soulmates walks, we're a little questionable right now with the weather, so we do have them scheduled, and of course that depends on the weather as well. And the schedules are out on this. So in February, Percival Island is our one that is planned, and in March we have Blackwater Creek Trail as well as James River State Park. And again, we will see how the temperatures are and the weather is for those. Our lectures are for the WC University Wellness Lectures. In February, it's the history of the James River and the surrounding areas with Rob Campbell. That is a four-part series, which started in January. We have 2 more in February. I encourage you to come. They're wonderful. If you haven't made the others, that's okay. They're different each time, and so he will be here twice in February as well. We also have Fall Prevention Steps to Safety with Brandy Scott in February. Our history series lecture for February is February Love Letters of Some Founding Fathers and Mothers with Dr. Cliff and Dr. Dorothy Potter. Our Parkinson's groups continue with our Friends with Parkinson's support group here at Westminster Canterbury the first Monday of the month. I will say with the inclement weather lately, that she will go by the Lynchburg City schools. So if they are delayed or canceled, we will not have that group on Monday. Our YMCA Parkinson's support group, the bus is available for those who want to go to those, so be sure to sign up for the bus. They are the third Tuesday of each month at the YMCA on Old Forest Road. Our Pedal Pushers bike excursion, we also have a schedule for that, which is out. We have changed in the cold months to the ride in the afternoon and lunch before. February is High Bridge Trail with lunch at Charlie's Waterfront Cafe, and March is Danville Riverwalk Trail with lunch at the Golden Leaf Bistro. Pickleball, we also have a schedule for the Wishful Dinkers as far as pickleball goes, because they do go to Crosswhite, and we do have that scheduled once each month in February and March. Our Cyber Cycle, now that it's been up and running, we have all new challenges on that for the year, along with some special challenges. that come up in 2026. So when you get on there, you will see the challenges on that. In March, along with March Madness, we have Cyber Cycle Madness, which will be challenges for the Cyber Cycle Madness, so get ready to ride. If you are not already on the Cyber Cycle and are interested, be sure to get with us and we can get you set up on that. Our Wonderful World of Nature will start in March with Huckleberry Knob Nursery, a tour there with lunch at the Long Mountain Grill. And also Daffodil Tour with Janet Hickman here on campus. She will be showing us her daffodils along with giving us a lot of very interesting information on that. And we do have a rain data on that as well, just in case. The next thing I have, and really the last thing I have, is an award. Mr. McIntosh, Bill McIntosh, was our resident of the month in January. But he will also receive an award. When Marco and I hear 100 or see 100, we're like, what? So he does 100 sit and stands every day, along with 200 abdominal crunches every day. And I see him doing that in the wellness studio on the mat table. So yes, give him a hand. I don't know if he's here. If you are here, Bill, if you could stand up, I'm not sure that he's here. Oh, he is? Well, I talked to him this morning. He is here. Give him a big hand. So Bill will be receiving a medal for that accomplishment. So it's very, very, very inspiring. And so see all of our wellness information on our monthly and weekly newsletters, Channel 970, as well as the resident website, and the Need to Know Wellness. Some pictures quickly. To end our year last year, we went to Winter Wander in Charlottesville at the Boar's Head Inn. And then we went and finished up the year with some of the residents going speaking to the University of Lynchburg class, as well as you see Annette there with our Embracing Mindfulness for that string connection. We had sound bath and some lectures as well. We had a group that participated in a tournament for pickleball, and we had some winners there, so you see them there. That was called Dink It Forward through the free clinic that does that, along with our therapy that did some lectures for us at the end of the year. Going into this year, you see our exercise classes coming up, as well as, if we can go to the next one. Yeah, exercise classes that we've been doing, and we started with Rob Campbell with that series for the James River and surrounding areas history. And also Brenda Meredith started us out with healthy eating for the beginning of the year. So we look forward to 2026 with all of you. Does anybody have any questions? I see a hand.
There's a nice piece of exercise equipment that sits downstairs here. I never see this used, but I'm not here very often, living in a cottage. But I wonder if it gets used, and there are no instructions down there for its use. They did have an initial time when it was brought here to use.
Right.
But it looks like a nice piece of equipment, and can it get some use somewhere else, or can it get instructions down there for people to use it?
I'm in the process of speaking with the person that I have come to look at that, because it's very hard, it's very tight, I should say, and they had some issues coming up health-wise, so it's taken longer for me to get them here. But I do have a call for him. I talked to him again yesterday. He's going to give me a call today. But I'm talking to him about some things with that piece of equipment. So I apologize for that. I'd rather it be in use, but we need to have it looked at first and then make some decisions on that. So we are looking at that. And hopefully he can get here soon, now that the health issues are better. Any other questions? Thank you. Stay warm. Have a good day.
Good morning. I'm happy to present an overall excellent satisfaction survey, and I'll get started with some survey statistics. We had a 52% participation rate, and the typical benchmark is around 75%. Halloran represents 33 states, 299 communities, and 120,900 surveys. The majority of residents have resided here for 2 to 10 years. 104 people were born between 1935 and 1945. 51 were born between 1946 and 1964. The gender of resident voters, no surprise, included 110 females and 60 males. 96 residents are married and 57 are widowed. Excuse me. The majority of folks said they are in good health, followed by very good and average health, and one person rated themselves in poor health range. Please see the highest and lowest scoring factors above on the screen. And for the highest scoring factors, we had our staff friendliness, effectiveness of rehab, care if funds are depleted, cleanliness of community, and suitable activities. And our in-house lowest scoring factors are temperature of food, parking convenience and availability, quality of food, variety of menu selections, and understanding transition criteria. And even though these are our lowest scoring factors in-house, with the exception to parking and temperature of food, they are all higher than the average 50% benchmark that we're compared to, and our positive scores overall. Moving on to key drivers, this is what you've told us correlates to your overall satisfaction living here, and they are value for price paid, long-term confidence, administration accessibility, fulfillment of expectations, fulfillment of agreement, community fund management, fairness of policies, care and assisted living, management of changes, and competence of staff. Next. This is a list of our areas of strength. I won't read through all of them, but as you take a look, you will see that there are some that we have already mentioned and are also in the top 15% of the benchmark. And then as you can see, our areas of opportunity are blank, and as they are defined as anything below 15%, which thankfully we didn't score in below 15%, although parking was a close 24%. But I will say that I've seen some parking attendants going around, so don't be surprised if you get any phone calls at some point. And lastly, for overall satisfaction, we rated in the 96th percentile, for value and price paid, a 94th percentile, and for long-term confidence, a 97th percentile. 95% of our residents surveyed said yes, they would recommend our community to a family member or friend. So just to mention, out of 330 independent living residents, we had 170 surveys completed. A printed copy will be available in the library. Right after this, I'll go put one in there if you want more information than just today. And any questions or comments are welcome. All right. Thank you.
Good morning. Just want to remind you of an upcoming service or services. Wednesday, February 18th is Ash Wednesday. We will have our annual Ash Wednesday service at 10 a.m. on the mezzanine. That is, of course, geared primarily for our residents in Drinkard and Hearthside and Canterbury Gardens, though anybody is welcome to attend. And then at 4 p.m. On February 18th, Ash Wednesday in the chapel. And you are welcome to attend. I know many of you, that is a common practice, but some of you that may not be. But I invite you to come and to check it out, to learn about it. And if you have any questions, see me. A few things, I know that you've probably heard some of these, but I just want to, because we may have some new folks and it's a new year, remind you of some ways that you could connect with spiritual life here. You could be a part of our worship team, serving as a greeter, a reader, a musician, interpretive dance. Nobody's going to take me up on interpretive dance? Oh. Sean said he would. He'll do classes later. Guest worship leader or preacher, would love to have you, which let me say thank you. There have been 2 Sundays this month, one where I was in bed sick, and the crew just went on and led worship, and Kathy Chase preached, and then this past Sunday with the snow and ice, it's wonderful to know that the chapel is in capable hands when I'm unable to be here, though I don't like not being here, and I don't want to be replaced. Additionally, we have our Touches of Grace arm of spiritual life. So if you receive a card or a phone call, if you've had surgery or something's gone on or you don't know why, people are just want to care for you. If you need some support, need some prayer, need a friend, you can contact Jerry Webster and her team. Contact me. We want to be here for you. And then also our visitation team. We've had some folks express interest, and we are going to have our next monthly meeting on February the 11th at 11 a.m. in the chapel. If you're interested in learning more, there's no commitment by showing up, but would love for you to come. Really, it's not a huge commitment. We would ask you to visit your assigned residents, about 6 or 7, at least once a month. And it's just about having conversation, being a smiling face, being a friend. I could talk more, but I'm not because we've got a lot going on. And I had something else prepared, but I've decided not to, just given the time. So I'm going to end with this. Be kind. Be kind. The world needs more kindness. You turn on the TV, you open Facebook, you open the newspaper, and all we are seeing is unkindness all around. Be kind. Be curious. Thank you. Any questions for me? All right.
Yes. Thank you, Angela. Be generous. Good morning. I wanted to give you some results of the first quarter, which ended December 31st. We had our first appeal that went out in October, and that's for the fellowship, Fellowship Endowment Fund, which is our key fundraising priority for the foundation. And we had great results. So as you can see here, we raised $159,474, and that's just a great number. We're off to a really good start this year. In addition to that, we raised $80,000 in other funds, and I'll detail that on the next slide. But for right now, the total raise through December 31st was $314,100. So thank you all so much. That is just a terrific start to the first quarter of our fiscal year. I know we've got some new folks here, so our fiscal year runs October 1 through September 30. So this is the end of quarter one, and these are great results. So thank you, thank you, thank you. One thing I just wanted to say a little bit more about fellowship. Paul, he's not here, but he helped me pull these numbers together. So Westminster Canterbury and the foundation, so the foundation started in 2006, but Westminster Canterbury has been supporting fellowship ever since it opened its doors in 1980. So since 2001, we have provided $7.27 million to support our fellowship. And I think that just shows Westminster's commitment to providing these funds for folks who, as you know, run out of money through no fault of their own, but they continue to be here and they get the care and their life goes on without any disruption. So we're so grateful for all of your support. This is really the most important thing that we do here. Fellowship is made possible through the Fellowship Endowment Fund, and it is an endowment fund, which means we do not spend the principal, we only spend the income. And Paul told me just recently that it's been 2 years now that the Fellowship Endowment Fund has fully supported our fellowship expenses, which just, we've been very careful. The foundation continues to grow, and that's been the goal, but we're to the point now where we're really, we are able to meet those needs with the foundation itself. So that speaks to you all and your generosity. And just one thing else here is that all fellowship grants are solely through charitable gifts. That's never a part of resident fees. So thank you all. You all deserve a big round of applause, and we really appreciate you. These are the other funds that received. What I really want to point out on this slide is 350 total gifts. That's a lot of gifts for us. Last year, in this first quarter, we received about 315. And this was really due to, unfortunately, we had 5 residents pass away in the first quarter, but their families just wanted to say thank you to Westminster, so they put Westminster in their obituary so that people who wanted to make a gift could make a gift in memory of that individual. And so, as you can see, there were a lot of donations to the Employee Assistance Fund, to the Nature Trail, and to the Unrestricted Fund. So overall, we had a lot of donor participation this first quarter. So again, many thanks to families, friends, and everyone who participates in supporting the foundation. Next slide, please. All right, I'm sorry we had to cancel on Wednesday, but Peter, we have confirmed that Peter Davies will be back for his talk on May 13th. But we'll start the series then in April. And let's see, what is that, Angela? Navigating Today's Investment Opportunities, and that's Mark Miner. He'll be here from Baird. We'll have more information about that in the resident update, so be on the lookout for that. Next slide. Oh, well, Matt said, he mentioned the work that's going to happen, and so I'll say a few more things about that. As he said, library, commons, and the bridge will all start in March. March 2nd, we're going to start painting. After the painting is finished, then we're going to be putting down the carpet. So I will communicate to you like, or we will communicate to you like we have with the other refresh work through constant contact. So if you've been unsubscribed or you unsubscribed and you want to know what's happening, we'll be happy. Jane Massey can get you back on those constant contact emails. Really what I want you to know is you'll always have access to the cafe. Don't worry about that. It is the bridge, and so we're going to have to reroute people. So when these emails come out, you'll want to see what's going on, just so you don't get frustrated and you know what's happening. But through that whole month of March, furniture is going to be coming and going. There's going to be a lot going on, and so there will be some disruption. So we apologize, but I think we all know that the results are all worth it. So talk to Jane if you want to resubscribe, and what else did I want to say about that? I think that's it. It's all going to be done April 1st, so fingers crossed that we stay on schedule. Any questions for me? Yes, Randy?
On your second slide, you can go back to that. You have in-kind gifts, 11 donors, but 0 total given. Can you explain that a little?
Yes, we don't put a value on in-kind gifts. That's for the individual to put a value on for themselves for tax purposes. So, an in-kind gift is a gift that it's a property or something that you give us. If you give us a piece of art, or you give us clothing, or you give it, well, not clothing, we don't really want your clothing. What are other things that people give us? Furniture, beautiful pieces of furniture, anything like that. I wouldn't put a value on it. You do that. But that's how many in-kind gifts we got this first quarter, which are wonderful. I mean, it's art, furniture, we use it all, especially these days when we're needing to fill the walls and the spaces with some beautiful things. So we thank you for those also. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
All right. It's a special sweater. Thank you, Harold. Couple of things. Survey. We appreciate your input. We will try to figure out something the next time we do a survey that we will only give certain couples, one or two, because sometimes you do have different opinions from your spouse. We want your input. As Lisa said, this was a good survey. If we had 76% or more participation, we would have been given the Choice Community Award that they award. So we had the numbers to do that from the satisfaction numbers. We just did not have the participation. Numbers-wise, I think there are 173 of you that are singles and 158 that are couples here. So we will try to see if there's a better way to do that. The last 2 times we've had lower participation rate. Time before that we were 70 plus, almost I think mid-70s 2 times ago. So we'll try to work on that. I feel like we put a lot of notices out. I know Lisa's talked a lot about it to where I told her to stop sometimes in meetings because I got tired of hearing her talk, but obviously not everyone heard her. Healthcare and assisted living had also very good surveys, and the healthcare team will share some of those results with our folks in resident council and healthcare and assisted living. So kudos to those folks as well. Also going into the library, the satisfaction surveys will go into the library, but also our audit after the board meets in February. Financial audit for those who like to look at our financials. We'll have those in the library as well. Has to get approved from the full board, and then we'll put those out there. But right now, those were given back to us, the audit, with a clean financial opinion, meaning that what Paul is reporting is accurate, and the auditors agree with him. So another good audit for Paul. Always takes a lot of time to get that together. Parking, just a parking notice. In our handbook, we say residents who no longer drive or use their vehicles should dispose of them. I know we do have parking issues, but we also, I think, can do a better job ourselves. It also says residents having multiple vehicles are encouraged to move one of their vehicles to a remote parking location. I will let you decide what is remote. But would just ask, even if you can move it to the end of the lot, whether that's the B lot down in the end of Woods Edge. Obviously, C lot around the Drinkard building is a very popular place, so please keep in mind if you're not using your vehicle, that is probably not a good place to leave it. And if you want help, part of my job is parking enforcement. I'm happy to help relocate your vehicle as well. So, and then we had some concerns brought up in resident council that handicap, not everyone's handicap stickers are up to date. Some of you were using old handicap stickers. And then also would just say there are folks that go through issues that require handicap stickers. And when you are sometimes better, would ask you to keep that in mind and don't always park next to the door or in a handicap spot if you are feeling better. I know we're all going to have some bad days where we need to park closer to the door, but just keep your neighbors in mind, because usually they're the ones who suffer those consequences if you're taking up one of those spaces. So just as William said, be thoughtful of your neighbors. He didn't say that, but it was pretty close to it. Kitchen, I want to go back to I don't think I talked about it. We didn't have CONFAB in December, and I want to share just a little bit more. Matt talked about the RFP for the kitchen, request for a proposal, and we're talking about the main kitchen. The main kitchen is 45 years old. We're talking back there behind the grill area and where we prepare food. So we're not talking about the Canterbury Cafe, the James River Grill, or Dogwood dining areas. We're talking about where we prepare back in the back that you don't see much. We're talking about upgrades, electrical, plumbing, heating, air conditioner system, and it's really just a comprehensive modernization to improve functionality and ensure compliance. We don't even have a grease trap. Normally built 45 years ago, was not built the way it should have been to code, so we will be working on all that. That's very extensive. We will still keep, when we do this, areas of the cafe open. It will just be different. We're looking at probably 45 to 60 days of a shutdown. In a perfect world, this would probably come sometime during the summer after we've gotten past obviously big days in dining for Mother's Day and Easter. We'd try to do in the summer before we ramp up again in the fall. We don't have a definite time date. We sent that request for proposal out to 6 local firms. 2 have already submitted, said that they will not be submitting proposals, so we have 4 that we'll be waiting on. Should hear back sometime in February. We're obviously asking for groups that have some experience with doing work like this, and being able to have the support and the horsepower to make sure they can do it quickly and get it done. Because it's going to be a tough thing for the dining services department to do, but we also just feel like a 45-year-old kitchen can't get passed on to the next generation to be a 55 and a 65-year-old kitchen. So we'll let you know more when we do. And just wanted to kind of share how that will hopefully play out. And then the last thing I had was we have to do emergency drills each 6 months, Ashley. The one we will be doing is going to be an earthquake drill that will take place February 18th at 10:30. There's a possibility you could get a text-them-all notice just as part of our process of going through that exercise. You won't see or hear too much else, obviously, with an earthquake drill. Some of you will remember the Mineral Springs earthquake back in, 2011? So probably not a California-type earthquake, but you never know. So we have to go through those exercises, and obviously went through the exercise of inclement weather here in the last couple of weeks, and a lot of planning in that. So anyway, I will now open the floor to questions of anything, kitchen, surveys, stuff like that.
Well, with Paul not being here, I don't know if you can answer this question, but do we have any idea when we're going to get the tax deduction letters?
The number's 41, and I imagine you're going to get the letters here. I know Belinda back here, hopefully in the next week. And our software actually has some sort of update that will actually, I think, will be giving everyone that you won't have to come ask your notice of how much of your monthly service fees, and for the newer folks, entry fees, that would be part of that makeup of the 41%. So we will get those out as soon as we can, but hopefully in the next week. Other questions? All right. Hearing none, we will adjourn. We thank you for your time. Stay safe. We don't have an update on the kitchen, but we'll push something out here hopefully in the next 30 minutes. Thank you.
Remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return, right at the end of the service, having an earthquake drill. Sorry I missed the microphone at the beginning. I was not paying attention.
No problem. No problem. Happens to me all the time.